Hi, everybody. This week, after 5 years of effort with 11 other nations, we reached agreement on a new trade deal that promotes American values and protects American workers.
People, it will benefit corporate CEOs, it will benefit billionaires, it will benefit the 1%. It may benefit even the top 10% of wage earners. But both the history of trade deals like this and direct analysis of this deal demonstrates that this is not a deal that will benefit the U.S. working class, that will not benefit average people in the U.S. This is a deal that will offshore jobs, that will undermine our environmental rules, that will attack consumer protections, that will raise the price of medicines. Really, this is a sweetheart deal for corporate CEOs, not for average, everyday people in the United States.
There's a reason this Trans-Pacific Partnership took 5 years to negotiate.
I mean, you got to think something is wrong when you have Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump talking along the same lines, right?
I wanted to get the best possible deal for American workers, and that is what we've done.
Doctors Without Borders also criticized the TPP, saying that it'll quote, raise the price of medicine for millions by unnecessarily extending monopolies and further delaying price-lowering generic competition. They also tweeted that, quote, big losers are patients in developing countries. Negative impact will be enormous.
Here's why it matters.
A lot of corporate money going into the hands of a lot of elected officials. We in the United States should be aware that our government pushed the most aggressive terms in terms of these kind of extreme draconian attacks on access to affordable generic medicines, trying to keep life-saving drugs off the market as soon as possible, driving up prices for government drug buying programs that are literally the difference between life or death for people with life-threatening diseases in some of the world's poorest countries. So President Obama, in pushing this deal, has signed a death warrant for some of the world's poorest people.
They want to buy American products. They want our cars, our music, our food.
The Obama administration is pushing the TPP as the most progressive trade deal in history. In reality, nothing could be further from the truth. This is a trade deal that builds in new powers for corporations to attack governments in international tribunals outside the jurisdictions of their national court systems when those corporations feel that a nation's law, court rulings, regulatory standards infringe on their expected future profits.
And if American businesses can sell more of their products in those markets, they can expand and support good jobs here at home.
So a corporation is able to pull out their crystal ball and say that banning importation of a toxic additive, preventing a toxic mining project, they can guess how much money they think they might have made for that on that in the future, and they can demand compensation not only for their initial investment, but for all that money that they think they would have made. So that not only
speculative.
Exactly, and that not only can be used then to undermine our ability to regulate in the public interest, it can also have a chilling effect on future regulation. When a country has to consider the monetary implications of new legislation in the public interest, when they have to consider that corporations can use these international tribunals to raid their national treasuries, then they have to really consider what is the cost of passing public interest legislation.
Trade rules put our workers at a disadvantage.
It has been conducted as the most secretive trade negotiation in history. The Obama administration, with its 3 trade deals, TPP as well as the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership and the Trade and Services Agreement, has brought in an unprecedented degree of secrecy. And that's because they learned from the experience of past trade deals, like the Multilateral Agreement on Investment, like the Free Trade Area of the Americas, that when the public is actually informed of what's going into trade deals, when civil society actually has access and can understand and interpret and warn people of what's going on, the level of public outrage that it generates makes these deals untenable. So they've treated this negotiation as a matter of national secrecy. Even members of Congress have to go into a closed room. They can see limited segments of the text. They are, as someone from the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative is staring over them, they can't take notes, they can't make copies. They're sworn to secrecy about what they see. So they're treating this trade negotiation as if it's nuclear, as if we're talking about nuclear secrets or lists of overseas spies.
Blueprints and plans.
Right.
Those who oppose passing this new trade deal are really just accepting a status quo.
This is not a done deal, and people need to understand that this still needs to go to Congress, and we have the power to stop it.
And TPP will change that.